Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we are in Texas, and of course we're going to be doing some hunting. What we're going to be targeting are wild hogs and javelinas. And for those of you that don't know what a javelina is, because I know a lot of people don't, they look like a pig, but they're actually closer related to a rat than anything. They're pretty cool looking. It's actually the first thing I ever shot in my life. We actually just landed right now, and we're waiting on a rental car right now. And then we're going to pick up some groceries, spend the night at a hotel, and then in the morning we're heading out to do some hunting. You guys are not going to want to miss out on this video, so stay tuned and see what happens. Alright guys, so this is day number 2 of the trip. We flew in yesterday, stayed the night at this hotel right here, had some breakfast, got all of our gear around, went to some stores, got everything we're gonna need, and now it's time to actually head out to where we're gonna be doing some hunting. And that's gonna be about another hour of driving. We've already drove about 2 hours in. And this country, guys, is really amazing. Like, it's way different than back home. The mountains and just openness. Like, there is not a whole lot going on, but it's pretty cool looking, honestly. So far we haven't seen a whole bunch of animals. It's been mainly pigeons, but we also aren't really in the area where you're expecting to see pigs and stuff. But I mean, this all looks like, tell me you don't think there'd be a javelina walking around out there. We finally made it to camp. It was a ride out here. That's all I'm gonna say. It was long, and it's like the desert out here, guys. I mean, check out all the sand and stuff, but then all of those mountains. It's almost like being in a great big dish. We pretty much got here, threw all of our stuff in the room. Now we're gonna get our hunting stuff gathered up so that we can just get ready to go. So I'm gonna keep this short, and I'll show you guys the inside of our lodging situation a little bit later, after we hopefully shoot some hogs and javelinas. So you guys stay tuned and see what happens. Okay.
All right, good luck.
Good luck. Thank you. All right, guys, we got to set up our blinds. We have feeders, but we don't have blinds that's hidden. So what we did is we picked up some blinds. We're just gonna set them up. Right here is kind of a pile of junk and sticks and all that. And I think that's gonna be enough cover for where I'm gonna be setting up the blind, because pigs aren't really known for their eyesight, but they are really known for their noses. And really, it's kind of blowing across kind of sideways like that. So I really think it'll be more beneficial to have the blind there. So let's just get to it. This ground is really freaking hard. So hopefully if I can get enough of them in, it'll stick. Try to soften up the ground a little bit if I can. I'm all set up, got my camera ready to go. Should be able to draw my bow back good. These are the broadheads I'm going to be using. Plan on using these rage right here on the Javelinas because they're a little bit softer. They don't have as thick as hides as the hogs. And for those, we're going to be using these Exodus right here. I'll keep you guys posted on what I'm seeing, but I'm going to get quiet and wait on something to shoot. There's a bunch of birds out here making some weird noises. I think they might be some type of quail. Let's see if we can get them to do it again. Probably not now that I'm recording, but there was a lot of them when we rolled up here. We should be able to get some good film of those guys. That's the sound I was talking about. Alright guys, so last night I ended up missing that pig. It came in right at the edge of darkness, and I could barely make out the shape of it. And then I couldn't hardly see my sights either, so I ended up giving it a haircut and knocking some of the hairs off its back. But at least I missed it like that. We didn't hit anything solid. And this morning, all I've seen so far is a bunch of quails and doves, and I saw one hawk flying around. It's a lot warmer than it was supposed to be. It's like 50 something right now, which I think the Javelinas are going to want to be out more in this type of weather. But the plan for today is to sit here for a little bit longer, see if anything comes in, and then we're going to try to actually spot and stalk some Javelinas, walk around, see if we can find any, see if we can get some shots. Javelinas, believe it or not, are actually like really aggressive animals. And a lot of people say that you can actually call them in when you do a Javelina distress call, so that's what we're doing here. And unfortunately, we didn't have any luck. So that meant after we were done walking, it was time to head back to the blinds. I look like I have freaking makeup on or war paint right now. That's how dusty and like sandy it is here, guys. It is insane. I mean, you can hear it right now. That is an interesting look. Anyways, we did some walking around and we didn't see any pigs or javelinas, but we found some tracks and trails. And what it's looking like is they're coming across the road over onto this side and then making their way through the thick stuff to this feeder. So I'm thinking my blind might have been right where they're trying to come out. And like that one at first was still a little bit like cautious, but I just think it wanted corn so bad it didn't really care. So we moved the blind. That and the wind is way better for this spot tonight. It's blowing right this way. So they'll have their path that they like to come out, and the wind's gonna work for them. That is, as long as they're here. But yeah, we're in Texas, taking it all in, taking in the sandstorms. All right, this wind's gonna carry me off. I'll pick you guys up later. Well, I thought we were gonna have a javelina there for a second. They instantly looked at the tent, but I think it was the wind more than anything that was throwing them off. They wanted to come in here so bad, especially after that feeder went off. The one started in real fast, and then they just kind of like shot off and cruised off. They didn't take off though, so that's kind of nice. I wouldn't be surprised if they showed up again. We just found some prickly pears that the javelinas have been eating. I don't know if they only like the purple ones or if they like the green ones too, but like there's some green ones right down there. it doesn't look like they've been touched. I don't know what's going on. No one really does. The javelinas and hogs aren't coming to the feeders. Besides those 2 javelinas I saw and that hog that I saw the first night, that is all that anyone has seen in the 4 days of hunting that we've been here. Some of the things that we're thinking is that maybe it's just too dry here this time of year. Like they said, they haven't had rain in a long time, and actually their last rainy season, they didn't get hardly any rain. So then for one, there's no water for them to drink, and then that kind of counts out the hogs. But the javelinas, they'll stick around and eat the prickly pears, those like rounded cactus looking things. But all the ones we've seen are all super dried up. It's like, I don't think that'll be very beneficial to them, so they're all probably heading somewhere else where there's water. But we still have time. I got in here early, around 1 o'clock. It is about 4 now. So, with that, we've got about 2 hours before the feeders are going to go off. And hopefully we get something to happen. If not, it's still been an adventure. We've seen some stuff. We've gotten to do some hiking. But it would be nice to end the trip sticking something with an arrow.